Welcome to the RadioU Podcast. Coming up, a new product that's everything you love about energy drinks, except the drink.
Also, did this wedding planner just leak that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are married?
All that and more on the way next. You know it's really summer now. 8772 RadioU, because Ryan Trahan has kicked off his daily summer video series on YouTube. This is exciting. This is something that I have something to look forward to for the next 50 days.
Yeah, this is an exciting thing from him. I love his Airbnb videos. So the fact that we're getting summer series with Airbnb, it's great.
Yeah, and all for a good cause. Ryan Trahan, if you've never seen him on YouTube before, I think what made him popular initially was he did a series where he started with a penny, right? Mm-hmm. He started with a penny, and this was a different summer series. And I forget, what did he even do with the penny? I watched the whole thing.
I think he just continually traded up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then sometimes he would have to get, if he got enough donations or a big enough donation, he would reset back down to 1 penny.
Yeah.
And he just had to live off of a penny, get across the country. That's what it was.
Right.
Starting with just a penny. And it was all for a good cause, for water wells somewhere or something. I don't know. It was for a good cause.
He ties it to a lot of fundraisers.
Yeah. In this case, he's trying to go to an Airbnb in all 50 states in 50 days. And it's all to raise money for St. Jude Children's Hospital, which is awesome. And already, and again, if he gets a big enough donation, there's a chance that he has to spin this wheel. And there's a chance that he has to a different kind of challenge that will be added to the equation.
Yeah.
And he's doing it with his wife.
Yeah. Which is awesome. I love it when him and Haley get together.
So it's the first video posted yesterday, and I'm already looking forward to day 2. Started in Texas.
Yeah, started in Texas with I love what Ryan does, because he doesn't just go to regular Airbnbs. He goes to more wacky Airbnbs. Mm-hmm. So the first one,
they're from the OMG category for sure.
Right, yeah. So the first one, there's literally this big, massive acorn just standing on stilts.
Yeah.
So yeah, that just gives you an idea of what we're gonna get for the next 50 days.
Yeah, and 50 states in 50 days, that is gonna be tough.
That's quick.
Even if you didn't have the chance of the challenges being thrown in when somebody donates $50,000 or more, because Texas, even he says today, or what the video that we'll post today, he's supposed to be going from Texas to New Mexico, but he's not on the border. He's much closer to Arkansas or Louisiana and Texas than he is to New Mexico. That's a lot of driving.
Yeah.
He's also driving. There's no flying allowed.
Right. He's driving. They're in a minivan. It's crazy. And
they could have to split up. That's one of the challenges.
Yep.
The two of them, which would obviously be a big challenge.
Yep.
To both meet up in the same place. There was the one that I want to see happen is he has to get if somebody donates $50,000, he spins the wheel. One of the things on there is that he could have to get directions from a local and follow them word for word.
Oh, wow.
Who knows how to give directions anywhere, particularly if you're going somewhere in an entire another state.
Yeah.
So that's going to set them back quite a bit, I would think, if they ever wind up with that challenge.
Yes.
So.
That would be so fun.
Ryan Trahan, if you've never watched Ryan Trahan videos, you're missing out. It's so wholesome and fun, and it's for a good cause, and I wish I had $50,000.
I know. I highly recommend. But he even said if you can give 1 cent, it's helping St. Jude. That's what the fundraiser's for. It's for St. Jude.
And you can. I know that by just following him on Instagram or YouTube, you get that he'll donate a penny to. So that all adds up. I made an Instagram just to follow him.
Really?
No, I already had one, but I hadn't been following him for some reason, so now I am. So Penny contributed.
Yes.
Would you ever do this? Just skip drinking the energy drink or the Mountain Dew to get you going, or the coffee, and instead just swap it out with a caffeine pouch, because this is now an opportunity that you have. There's a new brand. It's called WIP, WIP. And they sell, it looks like, to me, I'm thinking like smokeless tobacco, like chewing tobacco or Zyn or whatever. It's a little tin that has caffeine pouches in it.
Okay.
Now, a very efficient way to get your caffeine. Apparently, it's $5.99 for a package of 10 pouches. Each pouch is, I believe, 200 milligrams of caffeine.
Whoa.
So, or maybe it's 200 for the whole thing, because 200 would be a lot, wouldn't it?
That would be a lot.
But this is what I'm concerned about, is while it seems like a very efficient and cost-effective way to get your caffeine versus drinking drinks, it also feels like you could very quickly overdose on caffeine before you know it.
Yeah.
Because it takes some time to hit your system, and you're like, 1 pouch, not enough. I need more.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you've eaten the whole thing.
Used to it. Yeah. This is crazy. I didn't even know they were making something like this, or that this was a possibility you could even do. I mean, it makes sense, but yeah, I had no idea that they were making something like this.
You think about all the energy drinks. The caffeine isn't like naturally occurring in those, right? Like they have to add it in.
Sure.
So I guess they're just removing all of the liquid and just boiling it down to the caffeine, and then
if
it is
nicotine
flavored,
pouches could be something.
Yeah.
So this is like a patch that you put on your arm.
No, it's a pouch.
What do you do with the pouch?
You eat it.
You eat it.
Yeah, it's like a powder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like caffeine powder.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I
almost like a patch more. You know what I mean? I almost like a patch more. But also, I did look this up because I couldn't find it on the can. Because I do have a Diet Coke right beside me now. For a 12-ounce can of Diet Coke, it contains 46 milligrams of caffeine.
Okay, so maybe 200 milligrams is actually like in each pouch. I can't tell.
But that's crazy.
Yeah.
This is 46 for 1 can.
But I mean, you think about energy drinks.
How many cans would you have to drink?
Hold on.
You have to drink 4 of these.
Let's do some on-the-fly research. Which energy drink has the most caffeine?
Probably Mountain Dew.
It says Bang, but I need to know how much though.
Well, yeah, the energy drinks will have the most, but I wouldn't consider energy drink soda.
Celsius, Bang, and Rockstar X-Durance all have about 300 milligrams of caffeine per can. So 200 in each pouch, aka if you get a pack of 10, that's 2,000 milligrams of caffeine. And you know some child, some like 15-year-old is going to be like, I'm ripping through all 10 of these, and they're going to explode their heart.
Exactly.
This is what my concern is.
This is why I don't drink energy drinks, because literally, if I try to drink an energy drink, I start like shaking. Like I'm like, like it's just too much.
Because it's like 6 times as much caffeine as you're used to.
That's what I normally drink. So yeah, like I can't no way. The most Diet Cokes I have had in a day is like 3.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, it'd be like 150.
So this would be too much. This is far too much for you.
Yeah.
Your heart can't take it.
No.
For the rest of us that need caffeine to live, this could be, I'm telling you, cost effective. Caffeine or coffee can be pretty cheap. But this is, when you think about how much you're getting for the price, $6.99 when you're getting the equivalent of like almost 10 energy drinks. And this is $6.99, and one energy drink would almost be that much. It's like $4 or $5. So
it's true that the soda, energy drinks, any type of specialty drink is so expensive right now from the store. So to save money on that, I mean, it is appealing.
Yeah, it definitely sounds. You could save a few bucks. It sounds cost effective, but just proceed with caution. If you see these, you have to limit yourself.
Yeah.
You have to, or you will die. I have good news and bad news about Aaron Rodgers. 8772 Radio U. I'll just start with the bad news. He's off the market. I know, this is a tough day for a lot of us, ladies. Us? Yeah, that Aaron Rodgers no longer available. But the good news is for him and some lucky lady, he's married. Congratulations.
Yes, congrats to him.
First of all, to the lucky couple. There was rumors swirling because I think, what was it, back at the Kentucky Derby or something, he had been spotted out with a wedding ring on.
Oh.
And, but there was, like, he hadn't even really spoken publicly or whatever. No. So there was no way to know what the deal was. But then he signed his contract with the Steelers. In the picture, he had a wedding ring. And so then in a press conference yesterday, he was asked about it. And he said he's been married for a couple of months. We don't know, though, who the lucky lady is. There is rumors swirling online, but I don't think we actually know.
Yeah, I haven't seen any confirmation on who this would be, and I don't think we need to know. I feel like it's okay for someone like him with his profile. You know, he's a big celebrity, obviously, and athlete. I think it's okay that he keeps a relationship private. That's fine.
Let him have some stuff that's just between him and his secret wife.
Well, I think it's just between him and his family. Obviously, his family knows who this person is. But I would say there's no need for this person to come out and show who they are. Eventually, that probably will happen. But for right now, just let him be. We know he's married. It's okay.
And so I said I had good news and bad news. The good news is I think this sets up even better now for him to have an amazing MVP season with the Steelers.
Okay.
Because
he's
now...
settled down?
Yeah, he's settled down. There's less distraction. I think a good wife can keep you focused and grounded and now he maybe has some...
Let's hope he has a good wife.
Maybe Aaron Rodgers is one of those guys that just is so caught up in finding somebody, that it takes up too much of their life. And now you can finally settle down and focus and not have that other part of your life swirling around with uncertainty. Now he can just get down and focused on football alone. And he said a lot of that kind of stuff in the press conference as well. So I think he's going to have a good mindset.
Okay.
This is going to be all about football. He doesn't have to worry about planning a wedding or anything because obviously that's in the past. So now he's just ready to ball out and face off against the Packers in the Super Bowl.
I honestly think that's the reason why Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld got married so quickly after their engagement, because it was you don't want that distraction in the season.
Yeah.
To be we got to plan this for the wedding. We got to do this for the honeymoon, blah, 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 all of that stuff. You don't want that going on in your mind while you're trying to focus on winning a championship. So, yeah, I feel like that's absolutely true. It will remove those distractions. Now, I disagree with the whole part of you can just settle down. The pursuit is over. No, you still want to be very invested in your relationships. But, obviously for your job, you want to have focus for that.
You don't want to have tumult. And that's what you don't want to be tumultuous.
Okay.
You don't want to have tumult in your life.
I've never heard someone say that.
Pro quarterback. And so now that's one less area that he has to worry as much about tumult. And so I think that's going to be really good for him and enter focused with the right mindset for the new season. And let's be honest, Aaron Rodgers is so good. He could have so many distractions and he'd still be the best quarterback in the league. But imagine how great he's going to be now that he's focused and he has less to worry about.
We will see. I mean, he's still, he's 41. There's still some other things. He's showing his age. I got to say, in these pictures, I was like, whoa, he's looking older.
Well, I was like, whoa, too. I was like, whoa, I'm ready to see that guy on the field.
You were whoa in a good way.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like this is pretty sad. 8772 Radio U. Last week we talked about Dr. Squatch collaborating with Sydney Sweeney for some ads and then also, more importantly, selling bars of soap infused with her used bath water from a commercial she filmed for them. Mm-hmm. They were selling it for $8. We thought that was shockingly cheap. And it was. It actually was.
I mean, it was the price of their regular bar soap.
Yeah. They were not upcharging for Sydney Sweeney's body being involved.
Yeah.
But they definitely should have, because now those things sold out literally within a minute, I believe, of when they were put up for sale. Now they're being resold on eBay and other platforms similar for up to $800.
Oh my goodness.
A single bar of Sydney Sweeney used bath water soap.
Sold for $800.
It's sold for $800.
That is nuts.
People
How
are
depressed in your life do you need to be able to spend $800 on a bar of soap?
This is what I'm thinking. Like, what are you going to do with it?
Right.
You're not going to use it.
I mean,
You're
if
not
they
gonna bathe
are,
with
that's
it.
almost more creepy.
But what else would you do with it?
I don't know, but it's just like either way, it's bad.
Yeah.
Like either if you put it up on a shelf as like a trophy, bad. If you use it, bad. There's no good outcome for this.
It's like, it could be like a conversation starter kind of thing. Like a funny piece to have on your
it
like
could be kind
when
of
you have
funny
people
until
over.
you find out that they spent $800
Yeah,
on
that's
it.
too much for a good story.
Yeah.
Because the story's not even that good.
No.
Like, it's mildly amusing.
It's mildly amusing. It's more creepy that you would even want this. And then for you to want it so badly that you spent $800 on it is nuts.
But people are upset too because, like, I have this one guy, I'm flagging and reporting every single eBay and Mercari listing I see. If I can't get it the right way, bots can't sell theirs.
These aren't bots selling these, though.
And even if it was, what are you reporting it for?
Yeah, I was going to say, this is just somebody that bought it, and they bought it to profit.
They might have used a bot to buy it at first, but you can't report an eBay listing because of how they got the item.
Right.
At least not for that.
No.
Maybe if they, like, killed somebody. And I don't know. But, like, using a bot, that's pretty common.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I mean. And think about you too. That you're upset. This guy, you're upset that you can't get a Sydney Sweeney bathwater soap.
Yeah.
Think about, you look in the mirror at yourself.
Like, why are you so upset about this? Enough to comment on it? Like, come on.
Upset about not getting bath soap, used bathwater soap from a woman you will never meet.
Yeah, that's deranged, in my opinion. Like, I don't even want to be nice about it anymore. Like, it literally, just stop.
But
my favorite comment, though, and I do think this was obviously a joke and in fun with this, was somebody was like, switch to or bathwater bliss from scalpers off eBay. Decisions.
Yeah. What do you want to pour? One will be much more rewarding for you, I feel.
100%. Please buy the switch to instead of this bathwater bliss.
If it gets these dudes to wash themselves, I'm here for it, though. I love that.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
We're just piling on the stereotypes.
But you know who really, the ultimate problem in this, though, I cannot stress this enough, is Dr. Squatch. You charged $8 for this. You undercharged by like $200. People would be willing to pay more.
Are they at fault, or also is it good that they probably knew that it was going to be something that would happen like this, and yet they decided, nope, we're going to keep it $8 for every single bar.
No,
we're not going to change our ways just because it's so popular.
Like I said when this first came out, if I was them and if I was Sydney Sweeney, I would want more than that. Like, I'm worth more than $8 if I'm Sydney Sweeney. I
mean, they could have done that, but I feel like it's almost props to them that they didn't, even though they knew they could get more.
I don't think. I think they should have, because then it made it easier for the bots too.
How did it make it easier?
Because if you're gonna use a bot to buy it, it's a no-brainer when it's $8 to resell for a profit. So I think. But yeah, Sydney Sweeney, she needs to look in the mirror and say, they sold my soap for $8? What were they thinking? I'm worth much more than that.
Oh, she knows that.
More NFL marriage drama.
Oh, boy.
And this involves America's power couple, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. There are rumors swirling now among the Swiftie community that they secretly got married.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, 8772 Radio U. Do you buy it? Do you believe that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got married without anybody in the public knowing? I find that, first of all, just the idea of that happening, hard to believe.
I find that extremely hard to believe, especially with how, I'll just say this with all due respect, rabid some Swiftie fans can be. They're going to find out. Clearly, they were able to find this, which when we get into the details of how they found this is kind of nuts.
Very eagle-eyed.
Yeah. But
I'm going to say borderline obsessive. It's just obsessive.
Yeah, no, it's just obsessive.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by the rabid part. Like, it literally, fans are just, this is what they take their extra time in life doing. They just look for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. But yeah, I can't imagine where we would be if this actually was something that they would do. I believe that they would like to get married in like a private ceremony or, in a private way. But for it to not be found out by anyone, I mean, we just saw Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld get married. Photos that are like really zoomed in were leaked and everything. So I feel like it'd be really hard for Travis and Taylor to pull this off.
So the story goes that a event planner that was working on another wedding for Chicago Bears tight end Cole Kmet shared some photos, and one photo had an envelope inscribed with the words Taylor and Travis Kelce.
Ooh,
with
spicy.
Where's the Swift? Do they have the same last name now? That's what the invitation would seem to indicate. However, that feels like a bit of a stretch. They didn't even attend the wedding, by the way.
Yeah.
They were at some other event and weren't able to.
They were at a different wedding.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
I didn't see that part.
Yeah, they were at a different wedding the same weekend.
But nevertheless, putting Taylor and Travis Kelce on an invitation that surely, in a place card and whatever, that surely was meant for this Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, seems a little suspicious, doesn't it?
A lot of people thought it was. They thought, okay, they're being invited to this other NFL player's wedding, and they're being invited as a married couple because the only reason you put that is because you're married and you share the same last name, which, red flag. I'm sorry, Taylor Swift is not changing her last name.
Yeah.
At the very most, she may do a hyphenation when she gets married, but I highly doubt she's going to drop Swift from her name.
Now that's a good question, and maybe she's been asked about that before. I'd be interested because obviously
she's a devout feminist.
As a performer, I think she would keep it, but I don't know if she would not necessarily take his last name.
Well, she is a devout feminist, and so that's why, a lot of feminists they reject the tradition, which has been a tradition for many, many years, of the woman having to change her last name to the man's last name. So that's why I bring that up. And not only the fame part, but also her own personal views that she's been very, willing to share.
Well, the explanation coming from the wedding planner, the event planner, says that this was just an envelope example of how she made beautiful personalized notes for all the wedding guests. And so that, it does come down to, this feels like maybe a clever way of her getting attention, doesn't it?
The
event planner.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. She's like,
she didn't do this by accident.
This is what it looked like. Oh my goodness. It was my fault that I put them with, Travis's last name.
How silly of me.
What a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. She knew what she was doing.
Hudson and Alley in space.
Hudson, we have a 2032 asteroid update.
Oh.
This is an update from an asteroid story that we covered twice. I believe once in 2024 and then maybe once earlier this year.
Please tell me this is a good update.
This is a great update. You are going to be so happy with this news.
Okay.
Basically, we did 2 updates before this for Space, where we talked about how there's an asteroid that NASA was predicting was heading towards Earth with about a between 2% and 3% chance of hitting Earth in 2032. And that was like the highest chance they'd ever given an asteroid of that size to hit Earth in a really, really long time.
And when we had talked about it, every time we subsequently talked about it was because it was getting more and more likely.
Yeah, the chance was rising a minuscule amount. Well, now it's at 0.
Okay, complete 0, absolute
complete 0. And it went down to 0 actually back in February, which I missed entirely.
Yeah, they didn't report on that for some reason.
Didn't report on that. Yeah. But now they have an update on this asteroid where it is still a 0% chance that it will hit Earth. But now there is a 4.3% chance of it colliding with the moon.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and that's a recent rise. It's up from 3.8%. So I guess there's a potential for in 2032 where we could see an asteroid, which is the size of a 10-story building, slamming into the moon. Not a huge actual impact problem for the moon there. The moon has craters, so it's had impacts before. And a 10-story tall sized asteroid landing
Is
on
that
the moon.
small?
It's pretty small.
Okay. Because the way, I don't know, at first I got worried.
No, you don't need to be worried.
It's not even going to like shoot off its orbit or make a piece of the moon shoot off and get a second moon or something like that.
No.
Because that'd be cool if that happened.
No, I don't.
Will we be able to see any of it if it happens?
Maybe. Asteroids, I believe for the most part, if you have a pretty, obviously an observatory like what they have, the way they're viewing this now is through the James Webb Space Telescope, which is kind of like Hubble. It's in orbit, and so it gives you the ability to see stuff that's far away. Because this thing is currently very far from us. That's why they're saying, it's not coming until 2032. I believe as of right now, it's actually hurtling away from Earth, but eventually they believe with gravitational pull, it will make its way back. And then apparently a 4.3% chance that on its way back, it will collide with the moon.
That's really, 4.3, that's 1 out of 25 times. So that might not sound likely a 4% chance, but that's something.
It's a meaningful
That's
chance.
something that can happen.
Yeah, it's a meaningful chance. And as NASA says, as data comes in, it is normal for impact probability to evolve. So it's normal that it's going to change until we get to 2032 and we finally see what direction it's truly heading in. Because again, it's heading away from Earth. So this is all just like mathematics right now, where they're trying to figure out exactly the pathway of what it'll do. So there's still a chance where it could hit a moon, but it's also still plenty of a chance that it couldn't. Or there's also still a chance where it could change its direction and go somewhere else.
But not Earth.
I think we're safe on the Earth
Think
part.
about this. There's the equal chance of, if I told you right now, guess which letter of the alphabet I'm thinking, there's a better chance of this asteroid hitting the moon than of you guessing correctly.
Okay, let's do the letter thing.
Okay, guess.
On 3. Okay.
Okay, got 1, 2, 3.
X.
Z.
Oh.
We're so close. What do you think the odds are that last year you could predict the WNBA champion, MLB champion, Super Bowl champion, NHL champion, and NBA champion?
What are the odds of that?
Yeah, what are the odds of that?
They got to be pretty hot, like long shot, right? Odds?
Yeah.
To predict all of that?
That was quite a long shot indeed. Such a long shot, in fact, that this individual who threw down a 5-leg parlay for $13 last year on that exact outcome, those 5 teams, now stands to gain $270,000 if the Oilers and Thunder can complete their championship runs.
Dude, why am I now rooting for this to happen?
You want it to happen?
I want it to happen.
He's got a pretty good shot now. Obviously, a much better shot now than he did when he made this bet.
Yeah, like he's closer at least. I mean, the Oilers, I think, might be the toughest of that to happen because they have looked, at least in the last game, not as great against the Panthers. But it's definitely, there's a chance.
Right now, the Oilers are about plus 215 odds.
Okay.
So I think that would give, I'm not a math whiz here, but I would think that would give them about a third of a chance to win the Stanley Cup, whereas the Thunder are -5, prohibitive favorites.
Yeah, the Thunder are the favorites.
So, he should have that one down. It's just, can the Oilers do it? So, if let's say you were this guy today, Ali, $270,000 riding on the Oilers winning 3 more times and the Thunder winning 3 more times as well.
Yes.
What would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah.
I mean, I would just be hoping.
You've gotten so close. You've gotten so close.
I'd be hoping that it happens. It feels like it's not going to happen, though.
No, I don't think it is, because I don't think that the Oilers are going to do this for him, but that doesn't mean that he can't make a good bit of cash off of this.
What do you mean?
Well, one thing you could do is you can hedge out, which is what he would do, which is basically you need to pool a bunch of money together, but you bet on the opposite outcome of the Panthers winning or bet on the Pacers winning. And if you bet the right way, you can guarantee you make money either way.
Okay.
that's what he says he's trying to do, but you have to have enough money. You have to collect enough money to be able to make a big enough bet to where the payoff will be big enough to work it out. Plus, the Panthers are big favorites now, too.
Right.
So the other thing he can do is that he has been offered people less than the $270,000, but people have offered him hefty sums of money to take the ticket from him. And so then they would be able to cash the winnings if it wins, but he'd still be making money and they'd get like half the winnings because obviously it's much more likely than it was when he made the bet.
Yeah. But
that I feel like makes more sense.
I feel like if you wanted to do that, but also would you regret it if your ticket does end up winning?
Let's say $135,000 he would make selling the ticket. So like half of what you would take that, right?
I mean, I would be happy with that, and that's a guaranteed money.
You don't want to
you're selling the ticket.
Yeah, you don't. I would rather have the 100, but the math has to make sense.
Yeah,
you don't want somebody super short paying you on it either.
Right.
So it's a tough decision.
It's so tough.
But I do feel like though this guy is in the scenario right now. He should be able to make money off of this.
Yes.
He's come so close. Just don't get greedy. You can make more than $13.
Yes.
Which is all you pop down on this thing.
Yeah.
So.
You can make something off of it. Don't do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you need to do something so that you make something off of it. Because, I mean, just getting the 3 picks that you already got is insane.
Yeah, seriously.
So you need to profit off of this.
Yeah. But I'm not rooting for the Oilers, but I feel like I'm rooting for this guy.
I mean, I
kind
of want this to happen. His name's Drew Hirschman. I kind of want it to happen for Drew.
Good luck. Good luck to him. He's already had it so far.
Yeah, he's had some good luck.
Sometimes I feel like people think that God wants to blackmail them.
What?
Do you ever, I feel like it's presented that way sometimes, that Jesus, he knows, he's like Santa, right? He knows all your secrents. Mm-hmm. He knows when you're sleeping.
He's watching you all the time.
Yeah. And just and some might say Santa's blackmailing you to behave. He knows all the bad things you've done. You better get your act together. He's going to put you on the naughty list.
Yeah.
And that's how you might view God of if he knows everything, is he holding that over my head? You wouldn't want people to find out about this, would you? Or is it, kind of a way to coerce you into compliance of you better follow me, you better follow my rules, or everybody's going to find out about your horrible thing. But here's the good news. If that's how you're thinking about God, that's not how he is.
No.
He is not going to hold anything against you. Jesus loves you. And so while it is true that there are no secrets we can keep from God, it doesn't mean that God's using those secrets against you to bring you down or to force you to be well, you better watch what you do because I know everything and I'm going to, you're going to get it, buddy, if you don't follow what I want you to do.
Yeah, that's absolutely not true. Recently, I was watching a video and it was with a famous atheist by the name of Richard Dawkins. And he was talking to a former atheist. And he said, he was like, the reason I don't like Christianity is because I feel like they're obsessed with sin. And this former atheist who's now a Christian responded, and she's like, I have not found that to be true at all. I have found that Christianity is actually obsessed with love. Mm-hmm. It's all about love. And so often a very hypercritical view of God or Christianity can make it seem as if the focus is all on sin, when really that's not the case at all. God's focus is love. God's focus is redemption. He wants that relationship with you, which is something we've talked about countless times here on Radio U. He wants to love you he does love you. I mean, why else would he want a relationship with you? He loves you so, so much that he sent his son to literally die for you. So yeah, the obsession is not with sin. It's not with wrongdoing and all of that. That is important, but it's more important that God loves you.
Mm-hmm. I think it is true that the world, and this can be true of Christians and even those who are not Christians, is the world can be very obsessed with sin.
Sure.
Whether it's because this is what God said is sin, or because they just want to make their own rules, but people can be very obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the trouble comes.
Yes.
But the truth is that God is not obsessed with your sin. God is obsessed with loving you. Jesus is he loves you, he made you, and he wants to be there for you, and he doesn't want your sin to stand in the way of that, where many other people will tell you, again, from many different perspectives, will be like, if you've done some wrong things, guess what? That's it for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Jail you go, or whatever, like get away from our society.
Right.
And while there are some reasons for that, I'm not going to say that, again, like there's reasons to not do bad things.
Absolutely, yeah.
But that's not a reason to completely write everybody off forever. And that's absolutely not how God sees it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this doesn't give you a hall pass to walk all over God, because he's just going to love you. And you don't need to worry about not sinning. And, the Bible talks about like that, should we just go on sinning because God's grace is so good? No, absolutely not. We should not go on sinning. God does not want us to wallow in our sin. He wants us to be redeemed, but that redemption is what is offered to us freely, and we don't need to worry about the sin that we do have in our lives as something that's going to hold us back from that.
Yeah, so no need to keep on worrying. Find out what that love is like, and less of that, the guilt and the condemnation that you feel. That's not from God. God loves you so much, and he wants to be there for you, and he is there for you. Find out about it straight from him. Start talking to him, and if you want to know more, RadioU.com/free gift is a great place to start.
It's Would You Rather Wednesday.
What I do is just like, you know what I mean? Like,
on Radio U.
We are doing Would You Rather Wednesday. The question, would you rather go on a date with somebody who was rude to the waitstaff or someone who ordered for you without asking? And some answers coming in. Jess says, at least if they order for me, I might get free food I like. If they're rude to the waitstaff, I'm leaving.
Oh,
So definitely team order for you.
yeah.
We heard from Marcus, who says, I'll take rude to the waitstaff just because it's easier to clean up. You can apologize and tip big, but if you order for me without asking, that's trouble.
Yeah, it really is. Also, I don't know if many of you know this, but on YouTube, we have our YouTube channel, Radio U Mornings, and we always post a poll for our Would You Rather Wednesday.
Okay.
And for today, it's a 100% agreement. People would rather go on a date with somebody that orders for you without asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I don't like either idea.
I know.
I mean, that's the point, right?
Yeah, either idea sucks, but one is at the expense of somebody you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can put up with kind of you having to deal with a person being annoying ordering for you without asking. But it really is awful to watch somebody be rude to somebody else.
Yeah, the secondhand embarrassment you would feel too.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you could justify it. Mindy says someone that I'd rather go on a date with someone that orders for me. While that would annoy me to the core, the situation has the potential to be worked out through conversation. Plus, what they order could be delicious, and I'd be less mad at that point. If you're a jerk to other people, I ain't got time for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it boils down to. Like, I just wouldn't want to see, and I wouldn't want to be there and then either be put in the position to step in on the waitstaff's behalf, or just have to sit there and watch it as this woman that I'd be on a date with is just like taking it. I get kind of upset when people complain about the waitstaff, like when they're not around. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm same.
Like, I have some people in my life that the minute the waitstaff disappears, they'll just be like, you let them, you don't order the first time they come around and then you never see them again. And I'm like, they've got other things to do.
I know, they're busy.
Yeah.
I don't get that either. Like a very critical view of waitstaff. I know there's some waiters that can be, rude or whatever, but for the most part, they're just doing their job and usually are very nice people.
And I think even more so to me, something that really grinds my gears when I'm out at like a restaurant is that people act like the wait staff is in control of everything. Like you're taking your frustration. Maybe your soup wasn't warm, but you don't need to take that out on the waiter because it's not probably their job. Or, maybe that's a bad example because a lot of times they do serve the soup. But, like if the food isn't good, if there's a hair in your drink or something, it's not necessarily the wait staff's problem. And oftentimes it isn't. They're just the middleman.
Yeah.
And so you don't need to, there's not really no reason to be upset with them.
Yeah, they are the frontline worker though. So they're used to kind of having to take the brunt of whatever the mad, people are mad about. But it is true. Most of the time, it's not going to be their fault.
Susanna says, I love the idea of someone ordering for me. Usually I'm the one who knows the most about food and have to choose, as restaurants are always sharing and tasting new things and opportunities when we go. Plus, no one should be rude to wait staff.
Yeah, no one should be. It's an interesting take, though, the idea of loving somebody kind of taking that decision off of your shoulders.
I think some people enjoy that.
Sure, absolutely.
I feel like they still want to clear it. Like, for me, I would be like, hey, you've got to try this. I'm going to order for you.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, is not asking. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like clearing it with them beforehand.
I think there's a difference between taking a recommendation or being like, getting a clearing, as you said, ahead of time. There's a difference between that and doing it without asking. I feel like I would be more open to this, somebody ordering for me, if I knew them. Like if it was like a longtime boyfriend of, maybe your husband or something, where it's like, and you trust them. They know your taste. They're not going to order something you don't like. When it's a first date, that's really hard to get that right. What if they order you something that you absolutely hate? I think it's an idea of like showing confidence and just like you've been here before or whatever, but also, it could just go totally wrong. Yeah, because they don't know your taste yet. Yeah. Well, one last one out the door. William says, I'd rather them order for me than be rude to others because if you see them being rude to others, then they are just probably going to wind up being mean to you when they get comfortable. It's a red flag for sure. Yeah. Thanks for listening to the RadioU Podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.